Hello and happy Thanksgiving. This is Jamey from Stonemeyer Games, and I'm here for Game 87, Round 3. And I expect, given that this is mid-afternoon on Thanksgiving afternoon, that attendance might be very low. And that's okay, because you can play against me now or in the future at any time you want to play Rolling Realms. But I hope you're doing well. We're going to play Tapestry, one of the original realms, Ark Nova and Sleeping Gods, 2 promo realms, and see how we do today with these realms. And I'll try to remember to use Ark Nova each round or each turn, because it takes a little bit of, it's a little different than some other realms. So let's start out with a 2 and a 4. 2 and a 4. Hey, Mark. Hey, Alistair. Thanks for joining in on this Thanksgiving Day, at least in the U.S. here. I hope you're doing well. Started out with a 2 and a 4 here. Tapestry, I generally want big numbers early on, but 4 is decent. I can get a coin out of it. I haven't played Tapestry in forever. Well, the real game or the realm. So I used to know the key combination to make it work. Haven't forgotten. I have forgotten that a little bit. Ian says, just stopping in hi at the commercial break in the football game. Ian, I hope you're doing well. I think you're rooting for the Packers, right? Is that your team? They're doing pretty well. And Garrett, hey, happy Thanksgiving to you too. I'm grateful for you as well. Thank you for saying that. I actually got to play Dispatch for a little bit today, thanks to your recommendation, and I really enjoyed the first 2 chapters of it. Really cool video game. Okay, so in Ark Nova, at the end of every turn, outline 1 circle under 1 rolled die that you didn't use in this realm, even if you didn't activate this realm at all. Okay. So I'm building towards certain things in Ark Nova. Sleeping Gods, I can cross off some resources using, I guess with a 4, I can cross off 4 segments. And actually, that's the best number to use in Sleeping Gods because I actually get rewards from it. Hey, Carell. Thanks for popping in. I'm surprised that people are actually here. This is delightful. Thanks for joining me for a few minutes. I'll try to keep it brisk because I'm sure you all have busy afternoons and evenings here. Let's try to get a coin out of it here. I will just go 1, 2, 3, 4 to get a pumpkin and a coin. And then the 2, how do I want to use the 2? I probably won't activate Ark Nova at all. Tapestry, I guess I'll use the 2 in Tapestry. Oh man, I used to know exactly where to put everything in Tapestry, and it's been too long. So I will just hope to leave room for some bigger shapes. Let's go up here. I'll go right there in Tapestry. And then in Ark Nova, I guess I could use a 1 in Ark Nova, but I'm not going to do that. So I will use one of the numbers that I did not use this turn. I'll use the 4. I do want to build towards those stars. All right, turn 2. Let me know, as always, if you have any questions, though I think from the people that I see live here, most of you have played before and know how to play these realms. But that is okay. No worries if you want to ask any questions about how I'm playing or poke at how I'm interpreting the rules. 6 and a 4. 6 is great for Ark Nova. 6 is completely flexible. 6 crosses off a lot of things in Sleeping Gods, but doesn't get resources. I think 4 is still the sweet spot number in the Sleeping Gods, and I want the 6 in Tapestry. So let's go ahead and use that 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Feel like I'm already misplaying Tapestry, but that's okay. And the 4 in Sleeping Gods, I will put the 4. Let's go for a similar thing across the top here for a heart. And I have one of the green things, the damage to the bosses. And then, should I use Ark Nova? Should I use it? Ark Nova is kind of an interesting one where you want to use it at the right time. I know that I'm not going to use a 4 here, or I guess it could be either number. But I might go ahead. I'll use the 6 as a 5 in Ark Nova. I don't think I need to use the realm, though. So I will just use the 6 as a 5 in Ark Nova. Or not use it, but I will choose that as one of the dice that I'm not going to use. 6 and a 3. So let's see if I can still fit this 6 into Tapestry. in a clever way, even though I probably put the last one in the wrong place. Yeah, in fact, I should have put that one here. Yeah, that would have been great. If I hadn't used the 2 there, I could have fit in 3 6s. Now I cannot fit in that many 6s. But I can still fit in some 6s. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I already got the coin from that one. I haven't completely filled in any of these other segments yet, so nothing there. The 3, I like getting early coins in general, so that's why maybe I've been holding out for Arc Nova for a 3. But I think this 3 in Sleeping Gods is also really good. I will use a 3. Hey, kid, Seiko17, thanks for popping in to say hi. Happy Thanksgiving to you, too. I'll put the 3, I'll put it over here. I'll just keep going with kind of straight shots. I don't need to make these straight lines, but why not? So I've crossed off 2 of the damage tokens so far. So that's 1 star. And then Arc Nova, I'm going to say that I didn't use the 6 in Arc Nova. I'll use that as another 5 there. All right, so maybe I'm just getting stars from Arc Nova. Here's another 5, so I can actually complete that 5 in Arc Nova. Here's a 3 and a 5. 3 and a 5. We're on turn 4 right now. And so I will intentionally not use the 5 in Arc Nova. The 5 doesn't do a lot of good. In fact, I don't even think I can use the 5 right now, that odd shape that I chose for Tapestry. I will use the 3 here. I can use the 3 pretty effectively down here. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3 to get a pumpkin. And then the 5 I will use over in Sleeping Gods. I can't cross off any of the icons, but that's okay. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that actually finishes off this monster. So I get a star out of it. And then do I still not want to do anything in Arc Nova? What am I doing over here? I'm going to say I didn't use a 5 in Arc Nova. And so I'll put it right there. It's been too long since I played Tapestry in Arc Nova. A 6 and a 2. Mark says, very thankful to be part of the Stonemaier community. Thank you, Mark, for saying that. Filled with lovely people. I agree. I feel incredibly fortunate by the wide variety of people who lead with kindness in the Stonemaier Games community and beyond in the gaming community. I really, really appreciate that. A 6 and a 2. Okay, do I have room to use? No, I'm out of room to use a 6 in Tapestry. So that's out of the question. I could use the 6 to fill in a lot of spaces over here in Sleeping Gods if I want to do that. In fact, I might do that. I can fill in so much with a 6. And I can not use the 6 in Arc Nova. That's pretty flexible. Yeah, let's I'll use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in Sleeping Gods. The 2 I'll put over here in Tapestry. Let's put it right here to get another coin. I don't know what I'm doing with all these coins, but I have them. And then I, again, won't do anything in Arc Nova. I didn't use the 6 in Arc Nova, so I'll circle that in. So all I need in the last few turns is a 4 and a 5, and I get all those stars. I'm just losing out on resources in Arc Nova. Here's a pair of 3s. I think in yesterday's round, I rolled a pair of 3s twice. So this is the 3rd time that I've rolled a pair of 3s recently. Can I use them to good effect? 3 is actually a great number in Sleeping Gods. 1, 2, 3. That's a heart and a star for finishing off this monster. And then the other 3, I might try to use all of them. Actually, I don't know if I need to use an Arc Nova. That's the thing. I'm getting a lot of resources from the other realm, so I don't know if I need that at Arc Nova. Am I missing out on something that I need to know? 4s and 5s, yeah. I guess I'm gambling that one of these numbers will actually show up, and maybe I'll need some number manipulation. Okay, a 3. Where can I use this 3 effectively? Yeah, I'll put it right here. 1, 2, 3, and get a heart out of it. And now, do I want to use the 3s in Arc Nova? I would spend 2 hearts to essentially gain a coin, which I don't think is worth it. So I'll just say that I didn't use it here. I'll circle that in. And soon I need to roll. Okay, here's a 4 and a 2. Okay. So I'm gonna plan to not use the 4 in Arc Nova so I can finish that off. And then on my final couple turns, 2 turns, yeah, only 2 turns left, I'll need a 5 and a 4. Betting on that a little bit. So I might need more pumpkins. The 4 is great in Sleeping God. So I think I will use that over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a pumpkin. There's the other damage icon. And finally, the 2. So, here's a 2 right down here. 1, 2. That gives me another heart. Have not spent any resources this round yet. I'm not going to use either of them in Arc Nova, but I will. So since I didn't use the 4, I'll fill that one in right here. As we are wrapping up today, what are you all doing for Thanksgiving in the next couple hours? If you are doing anything for Thanksgiving, if you're just hanging out and you're not in the US, that's totally fine too. You can let me know what you're doing as well. I will soon be going to see some friends for some friends Thanksgiving gatherings. All right, final 2 turns. I need a 4 and a 5. There's a 5 and a 6. 6 is great in Arc Nova because it's completely flexible. I probably will use the 5. Yeah, I'll use the 5 in Arc Nova to fill all these in and get 3 stars. In fact, I could even use the 6 with some pumpkins. But yeah. What to do here? The 6, yeah, the 6 won't fit in Tapestry. I'm trying to remember here in Sleeping Gods. Corel, let me know in Sleeping Gods, am I allowed to use a 6 and not cross off anything? Oh no. So I could only cross off 2 with a 6 if I use that here. But am I even allowed to use a 6 in Sleeping Gods with only 3 segments left? I need to mark that number. By the way the rules are written, I would say I can't use the 6 there, but we'll see what Corel rules on that. In Tapestry, I was hoping for a 4. What other shapes can I use to complete this? Too many numbers, really. I could use a 1. Is there any way to do that? No, I don't think there's a good way to fill this in. So I'll probably just use a 1, my first spent resource right here. And the 6. I want to see what Corel says as to whether or not I can use the 6 in Sleeping Gods to only cross off 2 segments here. It could matter a little bit whether or not I can do that. I did use the 5 in Arc Nova. I know that I'm not using the 6 in Arc Nova, so I can fill in anything. I'll go with pumpkins, maybe. I might need them a last turn. And currently, I have not used the 6. So Corel is checking the rules real quick to see, I think, if I am allowed to fill in, if I'm allowed to use the 6, even though I'm not filling in that number of spaces. I could also look it up on the rules here, Corel, if it's not handy for you. I know you're trying to relax right now. So what am I hoping for in the last turn? I'm hoping for a 4 or a 6. I think 4 would be great. 4 is good here, and 4 is good here. So I would love to have a 4. Maybe I can copy it if I don't have enough 4s. And then over here, 3 would be ideal, unless Corel comes back to me and says I can use the 6 right now to fill in these 2 spaces. I just can't cross off this one. I will just say I'm just Alistair said Friendsgiving dinner in an hour followed by a game session. That's awesome. What game are you planning to play? I will, if I am allowed to use the 6, I will put it there. If I'm not allowed to use it, I will convert that 6 to a pumpkin. I'll just say that before I roll here. Let's roll a 4. A 4 and a 5, almost 2 4s. I feel like that die wanted to go 2 4s there. A 4 and a 5. Yeah, Mark, I was hoping for a pair of 4s as well, but at least we can copy it. I know that one of the 4s will be going here. The 5 isn't ideal, especially if I can't fill in extra spaces because I kind of need some of these coins. Let's start with the 4 over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. There is a coin that I'll generate, and I'll probably need that coin. Okay, Corell says we don't have an official ruling on whether or not we can fill it in. To attack, mark the number of orthogonally adjacent squares. We may change directions. We don't say up to the number. Let's go with the stricter way because this is a pretty flexible realm and say that I am not allowed to use that 6. That's okay. I can work around that. Yeah, because it doesn't say up to. I agree, Corell. Okay, so that is the first use of the 4. The 5, I don't know if the 5 is going to get used here because over here, I'm going to use 3 hearts to copy the 4 to get these remaining 3 stars from Arc Nova. Never used Arc Nova at all to generate any resources. I have 3 coins that I can use in Sleeping Gods, and I also need a coin in Tapestry. I think I can do it all. I'm going to use 3 coins here. 1, 2, 3. That is a heart and the final 2 stars. And I will use a 1 and 3 pumpkins, just barely fit that in Tapestry to complete Tapestry. Get another heart out of that as well for a Thanksgiving perfect score of 18.4. There we go. I bet some of you might even do better than that. So let me know in the comments if you are able to do even better than 18.4, given the generosity of these realms. But yeah, that is very satisfying to finish with a above 18 score. Yeah, here we go with Mark with 18.8 for the round. Well done, Mark. That's awesome. 18.8. Very good. Thank you, Corell. That means a lot coming from you. Great score. I know Corell can score quite well in these combinations of realms as well. Well, thank you all. I didn't know if I'd just be playing by myself today. Thank you all for hanging out for a few minutes there. And I hope you have a great day, great evening, and a happy Thanksgiving. And Chad just popped in to say hi too. Chad, there you are. I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving. All right, take care. I will see you, I think, at least on camera. I will see you. Well, tomorrow I have a game mechanism video about the old King's Crown. So feel free to join me for that tomorrow. All right, take care. Bye.